Hi everyone, this is Carolyn Speaks, State of Our World, on Friday, July 30th, 2021. So what is it? Good, better, and different. All three. Coronavirus is still with us. Now, what are some of the stories? Okay. Now, the Human Rights Watch accuses Israel of apparent war crimes in Gaza assault, urges the ICC, who's the International Community Criminal Court, to probe. Okay, let's see what happens with that. Who knows? Life is a gamble. We'll see. All right. Now, okay. The International Criminal Court is about to open a probe into apparent Israeli war crimes committed during the recent 11-day assault on Gaza that killed 260 Palestinians, including 66 children. A major report that Human Rights Watch released this week that closely examines 3 Israeli strikes that killed 62 Palestinian civilians in May. U.S.-made weapons were used in at least 2 of the attacks investigated. Human Rights Watch concluded Israel had committed apparent war crimes. You had people's entire lives, their homes, their businesses, their wives, their children, their husbands gone in a flash, says Omar Shakir, Israel and Palestine, director of Human Rights Watch, who helped lead the investigation. The international community focuses on Gaza maybe when there is armed hostilities, but 2 months later, these families continue to deal with the aftermath of the devastation wrought upon their lives. Israel, you have to change your ways. The people are there. They're not leaving. So you have to accept them. Okay. Now, in New York Police Department arrested at least 11 people who shut down a lower Manhattan street in front of City Hall at a Housing Not Shelters demonstration Thursday. Housing rights advocates were calling out the city's plan to transfer thousands of unhoused people from hotels back to shelters, where they face increased precarity and possible COVID exposure. So I hope they'll be able to stay in the hotels. That would be nice. Now, what else is new here? In Brooklyn, a mutual aid collective, they called The Gym, is speaking out after they were attacked at their storefront space in Bushwick by the NYPD over the weekend. 14 people were arrested, 1 person was hospitalized, and others injured. New York officials have called for an investigation into the attack. Members of the Gym held a press conference earlier this week, and the community experienced a brutal crackdown by every force and tool of the NYPD against a community center and safe space sent by a millionaire landlord who wasn't here and doesn't live in the 5 boroughs. They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in Saturday's violence, followed by 4 days of round-the-clock surveillance. You cannot stop us because we will be here every day until the world's ample resources are freely available to all of us. I totally agree. Thank you for demonstrating. Now, in the occupied West Bank, Israel soldiers killed 20-year-old Palestinian at a funeral for a slain 12-year-old. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli forces shot dead a Palestinian man at a protest that took place during the funeral of a 12-year-old Palestinian boy killed by police just 1 day earlier. 20-year-old Shakawat Khalid Awad reportedly died from gunshot wounds to the head and stomach. Israeli forces also fired tear gas, rubber bullets, and stun grenades at the mourners. That's very nice. Good way to win friends and influence people. All right. Now, what else is new? Biden announces new federal COVID mandates. The CDC finds Delta variant just as transmissible in breakthrough infection, more contagious than the flu. House weighing bill to extend the eviction moratorium hours before expiration. Half of Burma could contract COVID. Pakistan enacts new restrictions, and Haiti hospitals are overwhelmed. So we have to not have any intellectual property rights. We have to get this vaccine manufactured and distributed to everybody. Congress passes emergency funding bill for capital security, resettlement of Afghan interpreters. Over 80 Afghan troops killed in insider attacks during Taliban offensive. Dozens killed in flash floods in rural Afghanistan. The United States will return 17,000 looted archaeological treasures to Iraq. The U.S. is weighing new sanctions on Iran as nuclear deal hangs in the balance. Well, the U.S. is the ones who was under Trumpy who withdrew from the deal. So how can you put no sanctions on Iran? Israeli soldiers kill 20-year-old Palestinian at funeral for slaying 12-year-old. First protester tried under Hong Kong's national security law receives 9 years. Greenland lost enough ice in one day to cover Florida in 2 inches of water. Climate change is real. Gotta get real, people. Get rid of the fossil fuels. Archbishop of D.C. Theodore McCarrick charged with sexual assault of a minor. Representative Cori Bush unveils bill to protect the rights of unhoused people. Brooklyn Mutual Aid group attacked by NYPD while serving the community. NYPD arrests 11 people protesting city's plan to evict unhoused people from hotels. Alabama coal miners bring strike to BlackRock offices in New York City. Hope the miners win. Carl Levin, Michigan Democratic Senator who fought against Wall Street criminality, dies at 87. Thank you, Senator Levin, for your service. And the Illuminating Nation totem pole arrives in the capital after lengthy cross-country journey. Okay. Now, so what else is happening? Human Rights Watch accuses Israel of apparent war crimes in Gaza. Assault urges international community criminal court probe. I hope they get a probe and hold Israel accountable. Anti-BDS Jewish organizations backed Ben & Jerry's ice cream sale ban in settlements despite Israeli pressure. And people are outraged. A general strike in Guatemala denounces corruption and mishandling of the pandemic. Okay, now, that's a lot of stuff going on. How about a little bit of music? Okay. Let's see, what shall we sing? Down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on the mountain top. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way, won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little girl in Kingston Town. Sounds of laughter everywhere, and the dancing girls swing to and fro. I declare my heart is there, though I've been from Maine to Mexico. But I'm sad to say I'm on my way, won't be back for many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning round. I had to leave a little girl, Kingston Town. Okay, that was a song by Harry Belafonte, I believe written by him. Thank you for tuning in this evening of Friday, July 30th, 2021. Hope you'll be back with us again tomorrow. In the meantime, stay safe. Wear a mask. All know what you have to. Practice social distancing. And when the vaccine is available for you and it's safe for you to take it, I would take it. And take care of yourself and each other. And remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Thank you. Good night. Stay safe.